This is a viral video of a woman on a train in Switzerland. She's eating a bag of lettuce with ham and a packet of mustard. For many, this isn't a big deal, but for the users on Chinese social media, this food is lawless and outrageous.
When I first came to this country 2 decades ago, this gentleman, Bob Sapp, was the comedian darling, if you will, making the rounds on the variety shows. And so many young people saw me and called me Baba Sapp, which is the way you would pronounce his name in the syllabary. And for a long time, I took issue with that. But as I lived here longer, I understood that many of these young people were just looking for a way to engage with me. And they had never really seen many bald-headed black guys. So bald-headed black guy on TV, Bob Sapp. Bald-headed black guy, you. Okay, you're Bob Sapp. This gentleman did many things, including kickboxing against another television personality, Bobby Ologun, who is a Nigerian gentleman who went to college here. So he speaks Japanese. And of course, when he became popular, many people called me Bobby Ologun.
レギュラーですか？配役ですか？
レギュラー1つ配役3つください。
お支払い方法は？
じゃあ、ペンギンで。
バカ。ペンギンで。
現金ですよね。
当たり前だよ。バカ。お前だね。
Although I'm not the biggest fan of his type of comedy where he essentially opens his eyes very big and he pretends he doesn't understand certain words and he misuses words on purpose, it's not really something I can control, one. And two, I decided instead of letting it bother me to use it as a conduit for interaction. And so while people might say, oh, you were Bobby Ologun, I say, no, I'm not Bobby Ologun, I'm me. And it gives me a chance to interact. But it speaks to how people have different senses of humor. And so one thing that's very important for people to do when they choose to go overseas is stop letting everything around you be offensive to you. Because just like we have jokes that are funny to us, other cultures have jokes that are funny to them.
Or the lunch of suffering. They claim even a rabbit would kick away this food. This video garnered so much criticism online, it sparked a culinary trend. Now the Chinese, both at home and abroad, are trying white people food.
Recently, there's been a social media trend in China where people are trying food that they call white people food, like raw salads, boiled eggs, sliced ham, and chicken breast. So people are cooking these white people meals and then posting photos of their food creations to social media. This netizen said that his white people lunch of broccoli, steamed chicken breast, hard-boiled egg, and brown rice is the lunch of suffering. Another netizen said that the point of eating boring white people food like crackers, sliced cheese, and sliced ham is to understand what it feels like to be dead, but the food was so bad that it just made him realize how alive he was. However, some Chinese netizens have become huge supporters of white people food. They say it's much easier to make than the typical Chinese dishes, so it helps them save time cooking and gives them more time to do their work. They say that eating white people food has made them realize that the point of eating is not for enjoyment, and there's no need to spend a lot of time and effort making delicious meals because the whole point of eating is to just keep yourself alive.
TikToks like these are an example of how if you're looking for outrage, you can find it easily. But if you're looking to understand a culture and maybe interact with people, a TikTok like this is a good conduit for you to laugh at and share with people around you as a conversation starter. And I would advise that for many people, if you're going to go overseas and you're looking for something that's going to offend you, you probably shouldn't go. But if you're clever, you can use the comedy that people gather and rally around as a way to connect with the people. So this is a popular television show called Gaki no Tsukai, and it came on every New Year's Eve. And it was essentially it battled for first or second most popular show because the traditional show is a concert, but many young people watch this show. And so when you engage with young people, they would reflect on the things that happened in this show. And the purpose of the show is simple. If you laughed, the participants were to laugh, then the guys come in with the padded sticks and smack them on the rear. And the show was a riot. So you can see that they're afraid to open their lunch boxes because they laugh is going to get a punishment. First one is a piece of bread, and you're going to see them all force themselves not to laugh because they know if they do laugh, a punishment awaits them. He has bread. He has a box full of beans. They can't laugh. They don't want to laugh, right? And then he gets an extraordinary lunch, and everyone's trying not to laugh, and he's out. This particular year of the show was maybe the funniest year of the show, and I was in the middle of studying Japanese at the time, and I remember my girlfriend at the time, she absolutely would not miss the show. And so or should I say she made an event around watching the show because she couldn't miss it. She absolutely had to watch it. And it's a connection point. It's something to where you establish a connection to the culture, and it gives you a way to interact. And I urge people to put aside some of their likings, like the Netflix or the things that you're used to watching. And if you get overseas, turn on the television and see what people are laughing at.
Most of your lotions.
Although I'm not the biggest fan of physical comedy, I can do physical comedy on occasion when the content is good enough to my liking that I can take interest in it. And so for a show like this one, where you have a national audience and everyone is watching it, and this particular year they were in jail and they changed the punishment from the padded stick to a kickboxer kicking them in the rear, it's not just an interesting show in terms of enjoyment, but it's a connection point. And for people going overseas, I would advise them to try and find a connection point, something. And comedy is a very good place because it appeals to a wider range of people who are letting their hair down after work. And if you can find a common point where you can relate to people in terms of a television show or a comedy show, is going to be a fantastic conduit for you to not only meet people, but to give you an entrance point to chat girls up if that's what you're looking for. Think about it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you guys next video. Take care, guys.